Hi, I'm Viviana from Bilingual Exchange, and this is the free Spanish lesson for beginners. And today we'll be talking about family members. So if you have your PDF in front of you, you'll see that it's 2 pages long, and the first page is just like family members in terms of you being the son or the daughter and how you would talk about your family. And then the second page is you being the spouse and how you would talk of your family correspondingly. Do you see that?
I do.
Okay, awesome. So we'll get started with mi familia. And so as you can see, the middle little girl, her name is yo, so to speak, and yo in Spanish is mi. So in relation to this girl, her father, and how about you just repeat after me? Does that sound good, Tony?
Yes.
So it would be el padre.
The padre.
And that means the father. And then if you want to be a little more casual, to take it a step down, it'll be el papá.
El papá.
And that means the dad as opposed to the father. And then you have la madre.
La madre.
And then similar to rather than mother, you can say mom, and that would be la mamá.
La mamá.
And then the brother is el hermano.
El hermano.
And then obviously the girl, and then her sister is la hermana.
La hermana.
And then again, there's another brother in the diagram. So el hermano, and then there's a dog. So el perro.
El Pedro.
Exactly. So the article, the el and the la, it's not saying her, like my mom, my dad, but saying the mom, the dad. And it's just to show you that it's a masculine noun and a feminine noun.
Okay.
So in the next instructions, do you want to go ahead and read that?
Okay. Cambia cada sustantivo de singular e plural.
Perfect. So what we're just going to be doing in this is we're going to, just to practice the vocabulary we just learned, is changing it from a singular noun into a plural noun. So for example, ejemplo, we have el padre, which we just learned is the father, and we're going to change it to los padres, which is the fathers, or the parents, because in Spanish the default masculine, even though it's a mixed crowd. So what do you think la madre, plural, would be?
Las madres.
Las madres, exactly. And how about el hermano?
Los hermanos.
Los hermanos. How about la hermana?
Las hermanas.
And how about el perro?
Los perros.
Exactly. And actually something about number 2, el hermano, when you turn it plural, los hermanos, it can be either the brothers or the siblings. Similar to el padre, los padres becomes the parents. So once you pluralize it, it can become the default gender, not gender neutral, but like both of the genders included instead of just one. Then the next sentence is, the next activity is completa la frase. So we're just filling in the sentences. So that verb, yo tengo, is I have. And so then you would pick the number. So how many siblings do you have? So can you go ahead and do that sentence?
So are we using the example or the person?
You personally. So you would say how many siblings you have.
So yo tengo tres hermanos.
Yo tengo tres hermanos, yeah. And are they all brothers or brothers and sisters?
Dos hermanos and uno hermana.
Perfect. So if you're saying dos hermanos, you would make sure there's an S to make it plural, right? Dos hermanos. And then again, you said uno hermana, and Spanish with the gender, right? So it would be una.
Una hermana.
Una hermana, exactly. And then this next sentence, viven, means they live. So we're saying where your parents live. Mis padres viven en. So I'll do it for me, and then you go ahead and do it for yours, okay? So, mis padres viven en Colombia. So what's yours?
Okay.
Where do your parents live?
Mis padres viven en Idaho.
In Idaho. Muy bien. And then lastly, it's how you would say how old people are. So again, you would pick a number in the blank. So I'll do mine with my brother, and then if you want to pick one of your siblings, you can do them. So mi hermano tiene 26 años. Mi hermano tiene 26 años. So my brother's 26 years old. How about you? ¿Cuántos años tiene tu hermano?
Mi hermano tiene 40 años.
Perfect. So he's 40?
Sí.
Sí, muy bien. So mi hermano tiene 40 años. Very good, very good. All right, so responde cada pregunta. So this is just questions that help prompt you thinking about how you would talk about your family. So the first one is, ¿cómo se llama tu madre? So se llama is saying, how is she called? Which is how we ask in Spanish what their name is, right? So the way to answer that, do you know how to answer that?
No.
No? Okay, so you'd say mi madre, and then you would finish, use the same structure of the sentence. So mi madre se llama, and then you would say her name.
Okay. So mi madre se llama María.
María, muy bien. So go ahead and ask me what my mother's name is.
¿Cómo se llama tu madre?
Mi madre se llama Beth. Yeah, she has struggled to tell people her name for a long time in Colombia.
I'll bet. Yeah, that'd be a hard one to hear.
It is. Then the next question, ¿cuántos hermanos tienes? So do you know what cuántos means?
How many?
How many? Exactly. So what do you think that question's asking?
So how many brothers do you have?
Yeah, in this case, since the question is probably general,
Or
you don't know the.
siblings?
Yeah, so it would probably be assumed siblings. How many siblings do you have? Even though brothers is not incorrect, by context, you would assume they're asking siblings.
Okay.
So we learned how to say that previously. So I'll go ahead and ask you, and you answer for me, okay? So,
Okay.
¿Cuántos hermanos tienes?
Yo tengo 3 hermanos.
Muy bien, muy bien. And go ahead and ask me.
¿Cuántos hermanos tienes?
Yo tengo un hermano.
Un hermano.
Un hermano. So here's going again about where people live. So, ¿dónde vive tu padre?
So where? Yeah. Where does your father live?
Yes, where does your father live? So go ahead and answer that. ¿Dónde vive tu padre?
Mi padre viven.
So, sorry, finish your sentence and then I'll.
Okay. Viven in Boise, Idaho.
So you said mi padre viven. So that would be if you're saying mis padres because it's plural. So since you just stick with the same structure of the question. So mi padre vive without
Vive.
mi padre vive.
Okay.
Perfect. Go ahead and ask me.
Okay. ¿Dónde vive tu padre?
Mi padre vive en Bogotá, Colombia.
Bogotá.
Bogotá. And then here's asking the question of how old is a sibling. So, ¿cuántos años tiene tu hermana?
Mi hermana es 33.
33-ish?
Yes. Yeah.
You think?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think.
So you said mi hermana es 33, and because that's how you would say in English. My sister is 33,
Is,
but in
right.
Spanish we say my sister has 33 years old. So how would you switch that?
Okay, so mi hermana tiene 33 años.
Muy bien. Mi hermana tiene 33 años. And then last question. ¿Tienes un perro?
Sí.
Yeah.
Uno perro.
Yeah. So you'd say, sí, tengo. Again, that same verb we see in
Tengo.
number 1 from the previous example. So, sí, tengo un perro. I have one dog.
Un perro.
Mhm. And remember, when you're counting, you drop the O if it's a 1.
Yes.
So it's
Okay.
one dog. It was not uno perro, but one dog is un perro. You drop that O.
Got it.
Perfect. All right, so on to the next page. We're going to switch. The me is no longer a child, but the me is a parent. So in this case, the me is a wife. So she's yo. So her husband is mi esposo.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then if you want to repeat after me, just to make sure
Oh,
you're
yeah.
getting pronunciation correct.
So yo and mi esposo.
Mi esposo, muy bien. And then to say my older son, because you want to specify it's my older son or my younger son, you would say mi hijo mayor.
Mi hijo mayor.
Mm-hmm. And then if you wanted to talk about them as a group, so the two daughters, we'll talk about them. My daughters would be mis hijas.
Mis hijas.
Mm-hmm. And then my younger son would be mi hijo menor.
Mi hijo menor.
Mm-hmm. Muy bien. So, how would you say my oldest son? I'm sorry, my oldest daughter.
Would be mi hija mayor.
Mi hija mayor. And how would you say my sons?
It would be mis hijos.
Yes, mis hijos. And that would also mean my children. So it doesn't necessarily need to
Because
be
of the
just my
general.
son.
Okay.
Because of the general thing with the gender. And then how would you say my youngest daughter?
Would be mi hija menor.
Exactly, mi hija menor. Okay, so the next 3 bullet points are sentences in Spanish that give you the definition of a new word in Spanish. So it's using Spanish to teach you Spanish. Okay?
Okay.
So I'll go ahead and read it, and then you'll read it, and then you'll get a chance to tell me what it means and see what you think the new word means. Okay?
Okay.
So, el padre de mi madre es mi abuelo.
Okay. El padre de mi madre es mi abuela.
Mi abuelo. So what do you think mi abuelo is in English?
I believe this is a grandparent.
Yes, a grandfather.
Grandfather. Okay.
Yeah, because the sentence is saying what?
The father
Mm-hmm.
and my mother is my... Oh. I'm not getting it.
So it says, the father of my mother is my
Okay.
grandfather.
Okay. That's an important word. Yes.
Yeah, the father of my mother is my grandfather. So when you say it in English, you're like, redundant, that's a silly sentence. But it's just really helpful to use Spanish to teach Spanish. So go ahead and read that Spanish sentence one more time.
Okay. El padre de mi madre es mi abuelo.
Perfect. El padre de mi madre es mi abuelo. Now, how about the second one? La madre de mi padre es mi abuela.
Okay.
So what is oh, go ahead and read it. Yeah, sorry.
Okay. La madre de mi padre es mi abuela.
La madre de mi padre es mi abuela. So what is an abuela?
It's going to be grandmother.
A grandmother, yeah. So this sentence is just flip-flopped. It's saying the mother of my father is my grandmother. And Spanish is not one of the languages where it matters what side of the family they're on. some languages matters if it's like your paternal side or your maternal side. Spanish, it doesn't matter. Abuelo, abuela, doesn't matter. So you could switch these sentences to be like, the mother of my mother is my grandmother. So the mother of my mother and the mother of my father are both grandmas, like in English.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And then likewise with the gender things, if you pluralize abuelo and make it los abuelos, you're saying the grandparents now is one option, or the grandfathers. So depending on the context, it's either the grandparents or the grandfathers.
Okay.
Right?
And so if it was my grandparents, would you say mis abuelos?
Mis abuelos, exactly.
Okay. Cool.
And if you wanted to specify what side of the family they were, like my grandparents on my mother's side or something like that, you would use the adjective maternal or paternal after it. So it would be mis abuelos paternos.
Yeah.
So my paternal grandparents, or mis abuelos maternos. So I'll spell that out for you just to make sure you got it. So paternos is P-A-T-E-R-N-O-S, or maternos is M-A-T-E-R-N-O-S. So if you wanted to specify whose side of the family those grandparents are on, you could do that.
Excellent.
Right? So I'm going to ask you, not yet, actually. We'll go ahead and do the next part.
Okay.
So I'll go ahead and read it, and then I'll let you read it after me so you get practice pronouncing it. So, escribe 3 frases describiendo tu familia. ¿Cuántas personas hay? ¿Cuántos hermanos tienes? ¿En dónde viven tus padres? ¿Cuántos años tienen tus hermanos? So go ahead and read those, and then we'll break apart each question.
Yeah. And I think we missed one above too. Do you want to do that third bullet?
Oh, we did miss it. Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Sure. So I'll read that bullet and then you'll do it. So, un pariente es alguien que está en tu familia.
Un pariente es alguien que está en tu familia.
Perfect. So what is a pariente? Any guesses?
I guess would be parents.
Okay, so your guess
Or
is based on
family.
how it sounds.
Yeah. So no, let me correct that. Family. So it's any family.
Yeah, so a relative,
Generally. Okay.
right? So because alguien means someone. So the sentence is saying a blank is someone who is in your family.
Okay.
So the word that makes sense is a relative is someone who is in your family.
Got it.
Right? So go ahead and read that one more time now that you understand the whole sentence.
Okay. Un pariente es alguien que está en tu familia.
Muy bien. All right. So let's move down to the question parts again. So you go ahead and read it, and then we'll break it apart by question.
So escribe 3 frases describiendo tu familia. ¿Cuántas personas hay? ¿Cuántos hermanos tienes? ¿En dónde viven tus padres? ¿Cuántos años tienen tus hermanos?
Muy bien. So this is just the practice part. So we're going to practice talking about our families.
Okay.
So the first sentence is saying write 3 sentences describing your family. So the next questions are just to get your mind thinking, but you can write sentences about whatever you want. So the first question is, ¿cuántas personas hay? So what do you think that's asking?
How many people, I don't know.
How many people are there?
Okay.
Yeah. It's just the verb that's like, are there, is there.
Right. Okay.
¿Cuántos hermanos tienes? What's that asking?
So this would be how many siblings you have?
How many siblings do you have? Yep. ¿En dónde viven tus padres?
Where do your parents live?
¿Cuántos años tienen tus hermanos?
And how old are your siblings?
Yeah. So you can replace those questions. You could say, ¿En dónde viven tus hijos? Where do your children live? ¿Cuántos años tienen tus hijos? How old are your children, right?
Mm-hmm.
¿Cuántos hijos tienes? So you can change any of those questions to reflect children instead of siblings. And those are just to get you thinking. So go ahead and I'll give you a couple of minutes, or as long as you need, to write down 3 sentences about your family.
Okay.
All right, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, so go ahead and read your first sentence.
Okay. Mi familia tiene 5 personas.
Perfect. Mi familia tiene 5 personas. And that means my family has 5 people. Perfect. So I'll read mine so we can take a break. So it's mi hermano Rodrigo vive en Carolina del Norte. Mi hermano Rodrigo vive en Carolina del Norte. So what does that mean?
So your brother Rodrigo
Mm-hmm.
lives in North Carolina.
Exactly, yeah. My brother Rodrigo lives in North Carolina. And I'll read it one more time just so you can hear it knowing exactly what it means. Mi hermano Rodrigo vive en Carolina del Norte.
Okay.
All right, so go ahead and read your second.
Okay, so did yo tengo 3 hermanos.
Mm-hmm. Yo tengo 3 hermanos. I have 3 siblings. Perfect. And then I'll read mine. Mi esposo se llama Lucas y es de Canadá. Mi esposo se llama Lucas y es de Canadá.
Okay. So your spouse's name, or your spouse is called Lucas.
Mm-hmm.
And he is from Canada.
Yes, exactly. My spouse, my husband's name is Lucas and he is from Canada. So I'll say that one more time. Mi esposo se llama Lucas y es de Canadá. And go ahead and do your last one.
Okay. So I didn't have it written out yet, but I'm going to follow your lead on that last one you just did.
All right,
so,
go for it.
Mi esposa se llama Heather, and I forget how to say where she's from.
Y es de. So
de.
y is and. Y es de.
Y es de Ohio.
Ohio. Okay. So go ahead and say that whole sentence without pausing in the middle.
Okay. So mi esposa se llama Heather y es de Ohio.
Muy bien. Muy bien. And then my last sentence is, mis padres viven en Colombia. Mis padres viven en Colombia.
Your father lives. Oh, yes. So is it father or parents?
Mis padres viven.
So your parents live in
My
Colombia.
parents. Yeah. So the difference would be if it's my father, I would say mi padre vive, but my parents is mis padres viven. So there's the two S's plus the N on the end of the verb. That turns it into mis padres viven in Colombia.
Okay.
Perfect. So here are a couple resources that you can do on your own. So tarea, which means homework. So there's a memory game to practice family members. So if you play that game, it's like a matching, you know those games you played as a kid of like, you flip over a word and then a picture and you have to match them? So that's what that game is, but with family members. And then there's a YouTube video you can watch, and it introduces new terms like aunt and uncle. If you feel pretty confident with this like core immediate family, go ahead, try to learn aunt and uncle. But if this was all new, don't feel overwhelmed and just focus on the ones you know.
Okay.
And then there's a corresponding memorized lesson that's just for this lesson. So if you want practice just using the vocabulary, go ahead and check out that link on this PDF, and it will take you directly to the lesson that corresponds to family members. So you don't have to go through the whole memorized course if you want to review those. So do you have any questions on the material of this lesson?
No questions.
No question. Okay, awesome. So you're already in the Facebook group, but for anybody else who watches it, if you want to join the Facebook group, I post resources and videos and links and anything like that, and then you're welcome to post questions if you have them, and anybody can answer them. So it's a really great place to keep learning about Spanish, and it's called Bilingual Exchange Spanish Study Hall. Bilingual Exchange Spanish Study Hall. So other than that, thank you for joining, Tony.
Yes,
and
of course.
I will see you later.
Okay, thank you very much.
No problem. Bye-bye.